Hi Ant, hi Angie, it's Ken here from OK Portugal and welcome to your very own private virtual property tour. I'm stood right outside the property right now and I'm about to take you for a little walk around, so come along with me. So from here we can see the front of the house. The border extends right to this section over here, so you can clearly see the dimensions of the house, this long white wall going across. We've got a little gate going through here that reaches to the front door and then spans across here to this section where we have some electric opening gates where you can drive your car all the way up and park it in the garage or along the side of the house. So quite nice. Now for the purposes of this video, I don't have the key for the front door. The agent doesn't have the key for the front door, but what I'll do is I'm going to take you through to the front door area now and just show you what that looks like. And then we will have to go through the back entrance of the property. But it's actually, when you have a property like this, you're probably never going to go through the front door, and I'll show you why. So as you come through here, this is where the electric doors are. And so what's probably going to end up happening here is you're going to drive your car through here, you're going to park it up here, and when you get out your car, these gates are going to shut behind you, and you're probably going to end up going through the back of the house. So I'm guessing that the front of the house is probably not going to get used that much. Hello Gina, she's just waving at us over there. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a very well kept garden. I mean, you can see that this hedgerow has been really well looked after. We've got some really mature trees here, some really beautiful ones, offering some shade and stuff like that. And then all along this front wall, we've got a whole bunch of roses and things. So very, very nice garden, very well kept. So I think the best way to start this video off is for me to go to where the front door is, show you the front of the house, and then we'll make our way from there. So I'm just walking up the driveway and you're going to start to get a couple of glimpses of the areas where you can park your car, the garage in the distance there. We've got the annex over here. We have the swimming pool just over here. And then we have this sort of back porch area, and this is where I would imagine you would use mostly to enter the house and stuff like that. But anyway, let's just go through the garden here and to the front of the house. And we've got a very nice lawn here. We do have an automatic irrigation system. We've got sprinklers that pop up all over the place. And as you can see, everything's very green and very well looked after. Now that's because they have a woman that comes and actually looks after the garden for them. And I believe they were saying that at the moment, the current owners are paying about 70 euros a month for that service. Now I'm not sure if that's something that you can continue with the same person, but I imagine it shouldn't be too difficult to set something like that up. So now we're looking at the front of the house. Let me just go back a little bit more and give you a better aspect of it all. So really attractive looking. We've got the typical Portuguese green colour that is offset nicely against the terracotta tiles and the white wall. So we've got this big window. Let me just show you where the front gate is. Now this front gate is locked, so I don't have the key for that, which is why I didn't go through. But normally you would come through here and you would walk up this path, and this would take you to the front of the house. Now quite strangely, they do have an air conditioning unit right by the front door, which I find a little bit odd, especially as you could have put it just off to the side there. But anyway, you do have that. We've got this little sort of porch area, and we've got two of them. So you've got this porch up here, another little one here, and then that steps down into the garden. And the front door itself is it's an aluminium front door, single glazed. Looks kind of old, but definitely functional. But for today's video, the agent doesn't have the key to be able to open this up. But what I'll do is I'll take you to the other side of the door and show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're on the other side of the front door. As you can see, we've got the electricity box here. It doesn't have a new smart meter or anything like that. I think this house is probably from sort of the 80s, 90s. But yeah, it doesn't have any of the new stuff in it. But the electrics all look quite neat and tidy. I don't see any cause for alarm or any wires hanging out or anything looking dodgy. But it doesn't have one of those newest smart meters. So let me just step back a little bit and give you an idea of this space. Now normally in these hallways you don't have like this little bit on the side here, and this is quite nice because you can put like a coat rack or something like that there. You've got your light switches on the wall here. You've actually got 4 different light switches, so it looks like you can control a bunch of different lights right from here as you walk in the front door, which is quite nice. We've got these tiles that go halfway up the wall, some tiles on the floor, and this will help keep the house a little bit tidier, especially if you have dogs or anything like that. Now this hallway takes you through to all of the rooms and the kitchen and the living room and stuff like that. But speaking of living room, the first room that we're about to enter now is actually something that could either be a living room or it could also be another bedroom. And here it is. It's a very big space. So this room is 4.505 meters by 5.009 meters with a roof height of 2.714. So it's a very nice sized room. Now this is, technically speaking, this is like a living room. There's 4 plugs on the walls, so we've got plugs in every single corner. I know that that was something that you wanted me to point out, so I'm going to make note of that in each of the rooms that we go into. There's also an air conditioning unit up here to keep this room nice and fresh. And we've got our light switches just on the wall here. Now the one thing I have noticed is that there is a little bit of damp that's evident on some of the paintwork here. So we've got that there in that corner. We also have a little crack in this corner over here. Now what's worth bearing in mind is that obviously this property is like 30, 40 years old. So a little crack like that isn't too alarming, to be honest. You know, if this was a brand new build and it was doing that, then I would start to get a bit more worried. But as you can see here, we've got a little bit more evidence of that. I'm not a builder or a surveyor, so I can't really give you that much of advice on it, but there is some evidence of there being some repair work on a crack that showed up on the wall there. I like to point out the good and the bad. Okay, and then going like along this wall here, we've got a little bit more where the paint's bubbled up a little bit. So, yeah, as I said, on a building this age, I wouldn't be too concerned about that. So this is another aspect of the room from this side. It's got these lovely big opening doors here. These are aluminium doors, but they are single glazed. So you don't have double glazing or anything like that here. And let me take you outside onto the patio and just show you how nice it looks out here. These beautiful trees, the front gate, which is locked that we couldn't get through, and then the rest of the garden. Look at this willow tree. Oh, I love willow trees. I've got to get one of these on our farm. And from here you can see your neighboring houses. They're all very well kept, very nice looking houses. And then across the road. Now across in that direction we do have like an open plot, so someone could potentially build something there. But all around in the opposite directions, you've got some very nice houses around you. Good looking neighborhood. So these doors all have these big shutters, so the windows and these doors. So big aluminium shutters help keep the storms out and things like that. These are a bit dirty, they just need a jet wash or something, possibly a paint, although it looks like you can bring that back. And then they just clip back like that. Right, so let's go back in the house, and I want to try and do this tour so that you can logically figure out exactly where everything is. So now we're back in the hallway space. Let me measure this area here for you so you have an idea of just how big this is. So it's 2.099 meters by 2.782 meters with a roof height of 2.688. So it's a fairly nice size. As you can see, they've managed to get like some kind of a dresser in here where you can store stuff. Obviously you can model that to your taste. Throughout the building now we're looking at about 2.6 meters of height, and that actually doesn't change in all of these different rooms, so I won't measure that dimension again. But let me give you an idea of the size of this corridor here. So this corridor is 1.096 meters wide, and it actually on this side here right by the door is 1.596 meters wide, and then the length from where I'm standing to the door is 4.248 meters. So it's a good space. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to first work our way from, so we've come from the front door, we've gone into this room, we're going to go into this room next, and we're going to do this one, and then this one. So As we walk in here, I think this would be the master sort of bedroom. And the reason I say that is because it's got an ensuite bathroom. So let me do the bathroom first. As you can see, we've got some nice tiled floors. We've got the basin unit. This basin actually sticks out quite far. And then as you can see, the toilet sticks out quite far. So we've got a bit of limited space to kind of get in here and maneuver around. And then we have the shower tray that's kind of sunken in. And then that looks up to one of these units made out of aluminium, single glazed again, fly netting, which is very important for mosquitoes and flies and things like that. So that's nice to have. But yeah, I think the space could be remodeled a little bit better. Maybe get a shower tray that's flush with the floor, and maybe try and see if you can find a sink or something that tucks in a bit better, and a toilet that doesn't stick out as far, and make it a little bit more usable. But it's very clean. You know, it definitely will work, and it does the job. And then that leads on to the master bedroom. So on this side we have a whole bunch of cupboards. Now obviously there are effects of the owners. I'm not going to open up these cupboards because it's got their personal clothing and stuff like that in. But very big cupboards, lots of storage space. That's going to lead on to the main area for the bedroom. But before we go there, I need to give you some dimensions on this bathroom. The bathroom is 2.316 meters by 1.188 meters. The bedroom is 2.470 meters by 4.049 meters. Now that doesn't take into account this little standing strip here. So it is slightly bigger than that. In terms of plug sockets, we've got one by every bed cabinet. So we've got 1, 2, and then we have another one just behind the television over there. We also have an air conditioning unit just up on the wall, which is going to be nice to blow some breeze onto the bed. And as you can see here, they've got what looks like, I would say, a queen size bed, possibly a king. Plenty of space around either side. Also with these built-in cupboards, it means that you don't have to have a big wardrobe here or anything like that. And it frees up a lot of space in the room. So let me stand in this corner quickly and give you an aspect of this room. They're very nice. It feels a lot bigger than its dimensions. I have a big sort of chandelier or glass chandelier light. And then looking back in this direction, we have a really big window. Now this window, obviously here we've got the fly screen, so you can't really see through it. But if you look through this side, this takes you back onto the road. And it's actually not a busy road at all. The maximum speed limit is 30 kilometers an hour, so it's a very slow road. And there's a couple of cars an hour that do pass the road. Right, so this is a very nice room. I'm quite impressed with it. I'm not seeing any damage or any issues or damp or anything like that, so it looks pretty good. So this takes us on to the main bathroom of the house. So as you can see here we've got the tiles again going right through. It's got like a light pink color, this bathroom, so it's obviously quite an old one. Got the bathtub on this side. It doesn't have a clip for the shower, but I'm guessing that you could stand in here and have a shower. You've got your bidet over here, you've got your toilet, you've got your sink and your vanity unit just over here. And then they've also got a little bit of storage just over to the left here, where you can store towels and toiletries and things like that. It's got a very big window actually leading onto the bathroom, again with fly netting. All of them have got the same windows in the entire building and even the annex. And yeah, I mean, again, like the bathroom fittings and stuff are quite dated, but very usable. Everything's clean, and I'm not seeing any sort of mold and mildew and damp and stuff like that. We do have an electrical socket just up there that you can use to plug in your shaver or something like that. This bathroom is 2.091 meters by 2.306 meters. Excellent. Now in this section I'm not seeing any electrical sockets, but this is just kind of like a hallway. So this takes us into the second bedroom of the house. Again, you could have a third bedroom if you use that big living room area as another bedroom. So let me give you some dimensions on this space. This bedroom is 4.668 meters by 3.429 meters. So it's a very nice size because it's got, again, these very big built-in cupboards. And that means that you don't have to have a big wardrobe in here. Now, the actual cupboard itself goes back about, I would say this is about 40 centimeters or so. But they're definitely big enough to hang hangers and clothes and things like that. Yeah, I'm not going to be opening this up. I did open it up. It has the owner's personal effects, and I don't think it's right for me to get that on camera. But yeah, nice cupboard space. Again, we've got a big bed. It looks, it's definitely bigger than a double, probably a queen or possibly a king. 2 bedside cabinets, and we've got 3 plug sockets. So 1, 2, 3. Just above that, we've got the air conditioning unit. And then we have these big windows that open up onto this here, where you've got the beautiful swimming pool, and you've got a lovely area where people can sit and relax. We've got Gina sitting here talking to the agents, and it's actually very nice and cool. So on a day like today, it's 29 degrees. It's actually quite hot, and this house is very cool. Also, the annex is very cool, so that's good. You know, it doesn't have double glazing or anything like that, but usually houses without double glazing, and you know, they get boiling hot. So I'm impressed. We've just come from this bedroom, and now we're going to go into this room over here. This is kind of like, I would call this the dining room. So we've got enough space in here for sofas and all sorts of stuff. Lovely fireplace on this side, but before we get into that, let's give you some measurements. This room is 3.010 meters by 4.651 meters. Now that's only for this part of the room, or this half. The actual other half, that's the kitchen. We'll measure that separately in a moment. So as you can see, they've managed to get these 2 big sofas in here, or these 2 big armchairs. And we've got some nice big windows here that overlook the pool. We'll go there in a sec. And then we've managed to get this. This is a 3-seater sofa on this side. And in terms of plug sockets, we've got 1 over there, we've got 1 over there, we've got 1 over there, and we have another one. So we've got 4, 1 in each corner. So that's pretty cool. And really nice big windows again, and these are looking out over the swimming pool area to where the annex is and stuff like that. The fireplace, it looks like a working fireplace. I can see by the soot and everything. So I'm guessing this is working, and it's got some little tools and things like that here for it. It's all quite nice. Nice and very usable. Again, one of these big glass chandeliers. Okay, so this now takes us into the kitchen. As you can see, there's a very long kitchen. It takes up the entire wall. Let me give you some measurements on this before we start. The kitchen is 5.955 meters by 3.186 meters. So let's start on this corner of the kitchen here. We've got some plug sockets. So we've got 1 over here. We've got 1 for the washing machine. We've probably got 1 for the oven. So we've got about 7. There's a couple up on the top here. We've got your dishwasher. We've got the oven. We've got the extractor. It's also, this extractor obviously extracts stuff out, or it's more like a chimney. But this over here is actually for the gas. So over here is your gas, your gas boiler. And what this is going to do is obviously heat all the water for the house. You've got all the pipework here. So this basically leads back into the mains, and that'll take hot water to all of the showers and all the places in the house where you have hot water. The actual tops, the countertops are marble. The cupboards themselves are solid wood. They've been repainted. They're in fairly good condition, and they are solid. But obviously they are a bit dated. But you know, the kitchen's very functional. It works. Here's the sink top. So you've got double sinks, all stainless steel. You can see that these are probably about as old as the house. But the condition's pretty good considering. And let me just stand in this side over here. This is where you've got the main plug. So you've got 1 there, 1 there, another 1 there, and another 1 on that side. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there's 8 plugs. Lots and lots of them. I just noticed on this wall over here on this side, there's another plug socket. So we've got 9 plugs in the kitchen. And then over here we have a pantry. So this is the light. I just turned the light off. Now at the moment the agent was saying the pantry's in a little bit of a mess because they've just put everything in here to make the house look neat and tidy for for showing it off and stuff. But normally you would have space here where you could put all of your food and all that stuff. And it does have a light as well. That's quite nice. So yeah, a very nice big kitchen, obviously a bit dated, but imagine it's a good space to work with. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And if you did decide to remodel it, you've got a huge area where you can remodel. And as you can see, you don't actually need to use that as a dining room because you've got your dining room table right here in the kitchen, which means that this is pretty much your living room. And that also means that the very first room that we went into, which is on the other side of this wall, that room could be used as another bedroom or something like that. It doesn't have to be a dining room. Okay, so that's pretty much the main house done. What we're going to do now is we're going to go outside and show you the outside area before we go into the swimming pool in the annex. Just on the left here, actually, while we're in the kitchen, again, we've got big windows looking out. So the curtains are closed. Obviously, with the curtains open, we would have a little bit more light in here. But it is still quite a light space. Okay, so let's go through these. These are quite common in Portugal. It's just for the flies and things. We have these little nets. And this takes us onto a very big porch, veranda area. And this is, well, there's Gina, and here's the agent. Hello. Hello. So as you can see, we've got this covered area here. We've got lights that are recessed into it, so at night time you can sit out here. We've got what look like marble tiles or pieces of marble that have been sunk into the floor. And a very nice aspect looking out over here. This is the sort of neat wraparound part of the garden that you saw earlier. And let me just show you this part of it. We've got figs, and you can see there's a whole bunch of them stuck up here. I think this is called camellia. And we've got a whole bunch of oleanders. We've got the willow tree. We've got a whole bunch of different trees here, and they're all mature. And you can see, look at these hedges, all nice and manicured and looked after. Again, as I was saying earlier, you can actually hire the woman who looks after this place, and she'll come and make sure that everything's done and neat and tidy. And over here, this is the gas bottle storage. So this is where you'll put your gas bottle, and that'll feed the hot water system and possibly your cooker, you know, your stove top, if you don't do electrics. So that gives you a look at this side of the garden here. Now, one thing worth mentioning, and I only noticed it after looking at the house, is there actually is a big concrete electricity pole, and that is right on the land here, but you don't even see it. When you're standing here, I never even noticed that it was there until this moment as I turned around. But I need to mention that it is there. This isn't a high tension, you know, this isn't the high transmission lines or whatever you call them. You can't hear any buzzing or anything like that. So it's not, you know, it's not like some of those houses where you get these big ones and they're like making a big buzzing, humming noise. But yeah, definitely worth pointing out. Okay, so the garden comes up to here, and then we've got this white wall. And on the other side of the white wall, we have this area, which is like a rustic garden. And we'll get there in a moment, but this has got like all of your fruit trees. It's almost like a little farmland section. And if we go this way, we've got a pathway that basically takes us up to where the annex is and where the storage buildings. But before we go there, what I want to do is take you for a look of the swimming pool. How are you doing, Gina?
I'm all right, thank you.
What do you think of the house so far?
It's very nice chilling out on the patio.
Okay, a nice temperature out here.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so if we go around this way, we can start to see the swimming pool. It's been tiled off around the pool. The pool itself looks very clean and clear. You know, they obviously have a very good filter system. You can see it's got 2 overflow boxes in the background. I'm not seeing any issues with algae. It's obviously working fairly well. On the side over here we have a shower unit, so you can give yourself a shower before you hop in the pool. I don't think it's a hot shower. By the looks of it, it's just cold and you just hit the button. But in Portugal, with some of the weather here, you don't need a hot shower. And then this just basically takes you around the swimming pool. We will get to this section a little bit later. I just wanted to take you around the pool here and give you an idea of what it looks like from this side. Oh, that looks beautiful. This is obviously the deeper section. I don't have the dimensions on this pool, but I'm sure the agent can help you with that if you want to know the exact specifics. But it looks like you've got a much shallower area, and then it dips down into this deeper bit here. Very nice. I want one. Right, so I'm going to walk back around here to where we were, and then I'm going to take you up that little path and through to where the annexes are. So while I walk back onto this porch, I just want to show you what they've done with all these like little potted plants and this lovely little hand railing over here. They've got like a little cacti garden going on, succulents and things like that. It's very nice. I was standing on this section here and the sun is pretty hot. So you can see I'm working up a sweat. And as soon as you walk on this side, nice and cool. So we're standing at the back of the house. This is where the pool is. North is in that direction. South is directly behind us. So the front of the house isn't quite south facing. It's slightly to an angle. So north is there. We've got west in that direction. So sunset's going to be there. And sunrise should be sort of in this direction over here. And but it means that you've always got a nice amount of shade on this section over here, especially on the hot summers. And it also means that you've got a nice amount of sun that's going to be on your swimming pool as well. Okay, so imagine you're on this patio now. You've come from the swimming pool. You're back on the patio and you want to go back inside the house, or you want to go through to where the annexes and things like that are. Well, you can go in this direction. Just off this veranda, we have this little walkway. You can see they've got these concrete sort of pillars here, and it's got wire running along it so that you can grow grapes and things like that. What's this, bougainvillea? Got a whole bunch of those. And these are grapevines, quite big ones. Now these have all been cut back now a little bit by the looks of it. Or have they? I'm not sure. I would have expected them. Yeah, these look as if they have been cut like a few weeks ago. But normally, imagine this is going to be all covered, perfect for growing things like kiwis and stuff like that. And then if we walk down here, there are some lights. So we've walked past a couple already, and we've got another one up here. I think this is like a nachi tree. It's like little easy peelers. And got another one on this side. Look at that. These are going to be nice. They're going to come out in winter, I think. And this leads us up to this annex area. So from here all the way across to there. I think what we're going to do for the purposes of this video, I'm going to start on this side and then I'm going to work you through all of this. Before we get there, this is the pump house. This contains everything that runs the swimming pool. I don't have the key for it, but I can tell we've got like a little pool in our place, and I'm struggling to keep it in good condition. And look at the quality of the water. And we were in summer. If this pump house wasn't working properly, this would have a lot of problems right now. So I'm pretty sure that the equipment in here is working fine. But yeah, I can't get in there, unfortunately. Now, one thing that this property also has, in addition to municipal water, is it's got a borehole. So this is the borehole here. I don't know if you can see it properly. Let's see. This is the big pipe going into the ground, and it's got the pipework coming out of it. And I believe that is connected to the watering system for the house. Now the agents here, they don't actually have all that technical information. The person who does know is the woman who looks after this property. So I'm not 100% sure if they're doing the watering of all of these gardens with the borehole, which would make the most sense, because that's going to be a lot cheaper than paying for, your water bills. But if it's not, I'm sure it wouldn't be too much of a problem to connect that system to your watering system. So we were just standing just over there by the pump house, and I just wanted to come back so you can see this covered sort of carport area here. It's covered, it's got a little gutter on the side, or on the front, sorry. And we've got these tiles here, this paving. It's kind of old, but it's still functional. You can see it has been sort of cleaned over the years and stuff like that, so it's not dirty or anything like that. But they are a little bit old, a little bit porous, but none of it's damaged. And as you walk through here, this takes us to the garage. So the garage has got some big metal doors, very basic ones. These are the kind of doors that you find in a lot of agricultural properties. We're just going to have a very basic lock over here, and that's how you access it. It's got double doors, and this leads into a very big, or very tall, garage area. So let me give you some dimensions on the space. So this garage is 7.236 meters long by 3.004 meters wide, with a roof height on the lowest end of 2.579 meters, and a roof height on the far end of 4.369 meters. So 4.369 meters there, and 2.5 on this side. So plenty of space, plenty of room. If we look on this side of the wall, this is where we've got all the electrics. So we've got 2 plug sockets. We have the controls here for the borehole, I believe. We've got manual and we have automatic. And I'm guessing if you put it on automatic and you press on, the pump's armed, and whenever you open up a tap or something like that, it probably sends water. I'm not 100% sure, but that's how it works in our place. I'm not sure if it's different here. This over here is called Rainbird, and this looks like the irrigation system setup. So it's all on timers and things like that. Here's the DC power voltage for it, power adapter for it. And as you can see by the garden, it's in such good quality, garden and lawn and everything, that it definitely works well. And then, yeah, as you can see through here, they've put some shelves and things like that. Lots and lots of storage. The roof from the inside, the tiles look absolutely perfect. Now, I believe this annex was built in 2011, so it's about 11 years old. So not old at all. I'm not seeing any structural issues or anything. There's a little bit of, I don't know, like damp in the wall over there. And a little bit showing a little bit damp over there. But yeah, I'm not sure. Perhaps on the other side of the wall, maybe water's dripping down when it rains. But yeah, I can't see any issues for something that's 11 years old that I'd be that worried about. On this side, they've got some kind of tool set up, and they've got everything quite neatly displayed. I need to do this with my tools. And then we have a little bit of storage on this side. Lawn mowers, garden furniture, stuff like that. So yeah, nice storage room. I was just thinking, you've got so much roof height on here that you might even be able to put like a little mezzanine section if you wanted extra storage. Okay, so this takes us out. Again, we can see the back of the house from here a little bit better. And it's 2 chimneys, the swimming pool, the pump house. And now we can see the main part of the annex. Now before we get to that, there is a nice braai area. Check it out. So they've got, I'm not sure what this is, but this is some kind of like worktop. And they've put this on it. I think this is some kind of a gas hob. You got some storage underneath here that they've got some wine bottles and a little braai over there. Actually, that's a gas locker, yeah. So this is your gas locker for the gas bottles, and then this will be your gas cooker up here. That's what that is. And then we've got this brick braai area. It's got a chimney that comes all the way through out here, so you don't get smoked out. Got sections here for storing your logs, and a section here for braaiing. Obviously, this one's seen better days. These units, you can actually buy them at all like the agricultural stores and the garden centres, and they're all kind of like a universal size, so you can definitely buy another one to fit in here because this is a bit rusted. And then over here we've got a bread oven. Let me just stand back so you can see it a little bit better. So this is kind of like a pizza oven or a bread oven. The difference between this and a pizza oven is it doesn't actually have a chimney. So all of the smoke circulates around inside and comes out the front. And normally what would happen is that would just completely smoke you out on this area here. So what they've got here is they've got an extra hood, and all of the smoke will come out of there and hopefully go up through the hood and out. So that's the idea of that. Then we have a little sink area. We've got some storage underneath the sink. Oh, I can't open that up right now with one hand. But yeah, believe me, there's storage underneath the sink. We have the sink area. And then they've got like a little patio table, a little plastic one. But I can imagine that you could put some really nice patio furniture out here. You've got a lovely braai area out here. You've got your swimming pool just over there. Very, very nice. Okay, so let's walk around now and have a look at this annex area. So we've got the smaller windows on this side, and then it stretches across here, lots of glass. This is all single glazed though. And then that stretches all the way across down to this side over here. So let's go inside and have a look. We've got one of these little fly nets again. And then this takes us into a very long space. Look at this. I actually wasn't expecting this when I came in. All the way down this side. So let's go and stand in this corner, and I'll give you some measurements of this room. A little TV over here. We've got a wood-burning stove in the very corner. That's actually quite strange, because you imagine all of the heat's going to be on this side, and then you've got this very long space. So I'm not sure, perhaps you can get some kind of a little fan or something to blow the heat around. or maybe it doesn't even get that cold. So this room is 10.707 meters long by 3.064 meters wide with a roof height of 2.575 meters. So it's a really long space. We do have, I've just counted them, we've got 9 plug sockets. So we've got like one over here, and we've got a couple going along the wall there, and then we have a whole bunch that feed all the kitchen units and stuff like that, and one on the far end wall. So we've got 9 in total. I'm not sure if there's some also behind this cabinet here. Now, what's interesting about this room, because it's obviously very long, is that I think you could partition it. So where this space is here between this window and this long section, you could maybe put a partition wall, and you could turn this into like a little bedroom or something. And then you still have the rest of this space for, you know, the kitchen and the diner and stuff like that. I mean, this is a big, I don't even know, 10-seater table. They've only actually got 6 seats in it, and then there's another one over there. So you could potentially have 20 people sitting in here. It's pretty big. You can see over here they've got this big cabinet on the wall. We've got the fridge over here, and we've got all this under-counter storage. The whole kitchen's made out of these big marble slabs. A little bit dated, but I mean it works, it's all clean, it's functional. Again, we have one of these gas boilers on the wall, and that vents into here. So yeah, basically you won't carbon monoxide yourself because it's all going to go up through there. That's strange. I always thought that carbon monoxide was denser and actually sank. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll have to Google that. Oh, it looks like there's an extra plug socket just up in there. So we've got, it almost looks like this is their main kitchen because it's got a better kitchen, you know, it's got a better cooker, it's actually a better kitchen, and they've got all of this table space. And I'm guessing this is probably where they would cook most of the food, and they would have this huge patio space out here for everyone to sit on sun lounges, and they have the swimming pool and stuff like that. Okay, so now this takes us through to where the bathroom is. So as you can see, we've got a big sink vanity unit on this side over here, and I'm noticing that there's quite a few flies, these little flies, and there's a lot of them on the wall. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, this is actually a toilet room, and potentially, you know, some of them could be coming in through the window here, but you know, you will see that there are a couple here. I'm not sure if it's an issue or anything like that. You know, we are kind of in Portugal, there are lots of flies. So over here we've got nice white tiles, and that actually, let me just point out that we've got these sort of terracotta tiles or terracotta colored tiles here going through the whole section of this main house here. And then on the bathroom it changes to these sort of white bathroom tiles. And then it goes through here. Where's the bathroom light? Let's see if I can find the light switch. Oh, the light's actually on. Okay. That's a very dim light. But I guess you could get rid of the energy saving bulb and get something a little bit brighter in there. So yeah, we've got the toilet over here, and then we've got a shower unit that you can walk into, close the door behind you. It looks functional. It looks relatively clean. It does need a little bit of a tidy up. You know, we've got some of these flies in here, and we've got some more behind the toilet unit here. I can't smell anything. It's not like there's terrible smells in here, which is why there's flies. So not sure exactly. It seems clean enough when there's no smells. I can smell this chemical, but I can't smell anything bad. So yeah, let me give you dimensions on this room. So the entire bathroom, this room and this room over here, are 1.980 meters by 3.103 meters. So that's the entire space without this partition. And it actually is a nice usable size, a nice big usable space and size. But again, this light is very, very dim. It feels quite dark in here. But I think you could open it up and make it a bit lighter with a stronger bulb or something like that. It's a very nice usable space. But wait, there is more. If we go out, there's even more annex. So follow me and let's go and find it. We go back through these fly doors again. And now we see the rest of this patio area. Lots of flowers and pots, plants and things like that. We've got another tap over here for a hose pipe. You've got a little sink on the wall here. That's quite cute. And let's make our way around. to this. This is another room. So above the door we've got a little light, and as we go through here we've got these terracotta colored tiles again, and this takes us into a room that they're currently using for storage. We've got a fridge unit on the, a deep freeze, lots of storage boxes, things like that, and lots of space for storing things, as you can see. This room is 3.077 meters by 5.163 meters, so a really nice size room. Now I've managed to count 2 plugs. There's one over there and there's one over here just behind this unit. I can't tell if there's one just behind there, and I don't know if there's any more behind here, but so far I can only count 2 plugs. So that's the least amount of plugs that there are in any of the rooms. So I'm pretty sure that there's probably going to be more than that. Now I just want to give you a look back over like the size of the room, the front door, and also the window over here, which again is one of these single glaze units. Now this one is the first one that I've seen that doesn't have a fly screen in it. So yeah, this is a slightly different window. So on the back wall there's a couple of cracks in the render, but these only look like they're surface deep. They don't look like anything to be, like they're in the render. It's not in the actual brickwork or blockwork, judging from what I can see. And then on this side over here we have a couple more. Again, this just looks like it's in the render. It's very superficial. This building is 11 years old, but I like to point these things out anyway. Right, so let's go out of here. There is a little bit more to show you. So we've got a little bit of noise in the background here. It sounds like the neighbor on this side is using a jet wash on his cars, or a vacuum cleaner or something. He's doing something to the car by the sounds of it. But the whole time that we've been here, it's actually been very quiet. So this is kind of a random noise. I wouldn't be too alarmed. I don't think it's going to last too long, but I do want to point it out anyway. Okay, so we've just come out of this door. That was the window for this section. Now we do have one extra room. It's this one over here. This is basically, the room is about this big, so from here to here, and it just goes back to the back wall. And at the moment we don't have a key for it. Apparently they're storing chemicals in it. The chemicals that they're storing in there are for the swimming pool and stuff like that. He says he doesn't have a key for that, but it's a very basic room. It's just there, and it just goes back. So yeah, and then on this side over here we've got the chicken house. They've actually got some chickens in there, and when we arrived this door was actually open, so they've just closed all of the chickens in there now. But let's see if we can see them. I don't know if you can make them out there at the back there, but you've got a chicken coop. It's all functioning. I actually think that this door was supposed to be left open so that these ladies can walk around. I can see there's a little bit of chicken poo, and I imagine that they'll have good fun going through here and eating all the bugs and stuff like that. And if we go a little bit further, we've got a water tank. So these are quite common to have in Portugal. You basically have these big tanks, probably fill this up using your borehole. The only cost for that is going to be the cost of the electricity, and then you attach all of these pipes for like drip irrigation, and then you can send water to all of the different trees and things like that. So really the last thing to show you on this property now is going to be this little sort of rural garden section. So as you enter, you've got all of these trees. Now predominantly it's citrus trees. This over here is called a loquat. In South Africa we used to call these loquats. Here they call them nespereira. So we've got a really big one, as you can see. It's probably about 4 or 5 meters tall, and lots of these citrus. This one over here is a lemon. So we've got lemon, we've got orange, we've got different types of nachis and easy peelers and stuff all across here. Orange is there. I'm not too sure what this one is. This is some kind of a fruit tree, like an apple or something. I don't see any fruit in it though. This one over here looks like peach. And yeah, again, we've got a whole bunch more citrus and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, the soil here is very sandy. It's a very sandy soil. It's not that suited for growing veggies and things like that, but it's absolutely perfect for citrus plants. So let me just walk through this part here and just show you a little bit more. Actually, do you know what? It sounds like they're doing some kind of DIY. That's not a car thing. It sounds like a circular saw or something like that. But yeah, maybe they're just doing a little bit of DIY stuff. The house doesn't look like it's under renovation, so I don't think noises like that are going to be too prevalent. But yeah, anyway, let's look back. So this is the sort of the rural kind of farm area. Got your little olive tree over there. You got all your fruit trees and stuff like that. You've potentially got space where you could put like grow some veggies, although it's very sandy soil, so you're probably going to want to buy yourself some topsoil and some compost and start working the ground into a better shape for things like vegetables and stuff like that. All right, so that brings us to well, to the end of the video. I believe I've shown you absolutely everything there is on this house. Although there is actually one extra thing I want to show you here, and that's the roof. So the roof of the house looks like it's in very good condition. Obviously we're going to be sending a drone up there and we're going to be showing you better angles. But from what I can see here, it looks pretty good. Also on the chimneys here, we've got some little grates to stop birds and things from flying down there and nesting in them. All right, so as I was saying, this leads us to the very end of the video. And I believe I've shown you absolutely everything there is. It's been quite an in-depth review of this place. It's a very nice looking place. It's been great to walk around here and have a good look at it. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email if you need any information or anything like that. And I just want to say a big thank you to Carlos. Thank you so much for letting us look around.
You're welcome.
And yeah, and if you have any questions for us, send him an email or send me an email if there's something that I can answer. And thanks for watching. Ciao. I know I said it was the end of the video earlier, but I think it's important for Gina to give her take on this place as well.
I really liked it. It was very nice. It was lovely sitting on that patio for like 2 hours, just chilling out. Very nice and quiet. Just
2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was quite a long time.
Sorry, Gina, but we had to do all of the drone stuff afterwards.
But it was very nice to be sitting there, and the house, considering you're so close to Lisbon, I think is a very reasonable price. And the house itself is lovely. It's very Portuguese and it's quite old-fashioned, but I think most of that is due to the furniture, and obviously you're going to put your own style in there. But the house is spotless. It's so clean.
It's very clean, considering like the bathrooms are a bit dated and it's obviously all old original stuff. It's spotless. You know, it's really, really good.
You could move straight in there, no problem at all. You probably wouldn't even need to clean it. You could just move straight in and like sleep the night. And the fact that you've got that annex outside that you can have friends and family stay if you don't want them staying in the house with you. I know some of my friends and family that I'd want just a little bit away.
Of course, yeah.
They've got their own bathroom, their own kitchen. And if you want to keep the heat out of the house in the summer, then you need to cook in the other
Yes, that's
area.
important. Yeah, so you don't heat up the house by cooking stuff with the main oven and the main, you know, in your main living room.
Yeah, it's a really nice house and there's loads you can do with it, and you can definitely put your own style onto it. And it seems like a nice quiet neighbourhood.
Yeah, it was quiet. Earlier on during the video there was a bit of noise. I thought that someone was doing some kind of DIY, but actually after I stopped recording I saw they were using hedge clippers to try and get those nice hedge, you know, those nice boxy hedges. So, you know, it's just kind of basic like garden noise.
But the whole street looked really nicely well kept. It's not like you've got lots of ruins or...
Yeah.
So, it was really nice. I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean for 300,000 you're 1 hour out of Lisbon, literally 1 hour to Lisbon airport, which is pretty amazing really. You're 2.5 hours down to Faro airport and just under 3 hours to Porto airport. So, you know, if you want to go down to the Algarve, 2.5 hours by car and you can be on those lovely beaches with the warm sea.
And Santarem's very close, and that's a massive...
Santarem, yeah. So Santarem's another city half an hour away. And then 10 minutes from the house is a big town. The town is called Salvaterra de Magos. 10 minutes by car, there's a variety of supermarkets, shops, cafes, bars, restaurants and services. So yeah, it's got a lot going for it.
And it's a good area, I think. It's very well positioned.
It is, yeah. The one thing I will say is that the agent was very adamant that there's another property that he wants to show you. Which is kind of strange because normally agents are just in a rush to sell something and they're not, you know, if they think they're going to sell something they just go for it and they don't go, no, wait a minute, let me confuse you. But anyway, he wants to show you something else. I'm sure he will send you those details. And yeah, that's it from us. We're going to be home. It takes about, I don't know, 2 hours to drive back. Then I've got to do the edit. And then I'll send you this video. I'll drop you guys an email, and feel free to email us with any questions, if there's stuff that we can answer, obviously. And if not, email the agent, and we'll speak to you soon. Ciao.
Bye.